We're going to actually take this conversation ahead with Nimish Mehta of Delta Advisors. Nimish, good afternoon and thanks for taking the time out. Your initial reaction on what this particular development means? Of course, from the manufacturer's point of view, they are suggesting that these drugs are counterfeit and it's got nothing to do with their own manufacturing policies and facilities. But firstly, your initial take on this entire matter.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. Company name is Research Delta Advisors. Well, my initial take is, it's like the government has been trying to push the agenda of ensuring that the quality of pharma products from India is kind of up to the mark. We have had many measures that the government has taken in the past. It starts with, manufacturing audits being conducted across the nation, and a lot of the small manufacturers actually got hurt because of that. A lot of the facilities were flagged. Along with that, we also have seen fixed dose combination, as just reported by the reporter, that we have they have kind of flagged concerns on that as well. And there were also marketing related code of conduct which was implemented. So I would consider all this as a part of the overall measures to ensure that the quality of Indian pharma product is up to the mark, especially because Indian pharma is actually a global name now, and there had been some issues outside of India in some countries like Namibia where there were issues related to the quality of the product. So I would consider it as a part of the overall measures that the government is trying to implement, so that the pharma companies, I mean, the products from India is up to the mark, and the name of the country in general is not tarnished.
Well,
Sorry.
please go ahead. Please go ahead.
No, having said that, obviously, for the first time, I'm seeing that some of the large companies are getting involved. Because so far, all the measures that we have seen were kind of, against, I would say, the smaller companies.
Well, Mr.
So yeah.
Mehta, how often are these tests conducted, and is it the first time that such a list of drugs have failed the test?
Well, as far as I understand, this is a regular practice. They do conduct the tests, from the market. It is the first time that the large products are actually being flagged. That is what I see. I don't know the number. I mean, in the past also, there might be some 40, 50 drugs which might be flagged, as a part of the overall testing mechanism. But definitely, the large companies were involved for the first time. That's where I think it is catching everyone's eyebrow.
Well, then who is responsible for that? Because the companies out there are saying that these are the counterfeit or duplicates products, and they are not involved when it comes to manufacturing of these products.
Yeah, so it's actually, the picture is still not clear. And when the companies are claiming that there can be counterfeit products, I mean, I'm sure they can prove it through the batches that they have manufactured. Because what I also read is that the company says that the batch that you have found to be not meeting the quality standard is actually not manufactured by us, and that to prove is not a very difficult thing. So I would give credence to the manufacturers' concerns here. All in all, I think the CDSCO also has not kind of come back and said that they are for sure the company's product. So we need to first actually see what is the real picture. I mean, on the face of it, yes, these products belong to the large companies and they have failed the quality test. But I think spurious drug is also a big issue, which is what the government of India is tackling with. And if you combine these two, there may be some credence to what the large companies are claiming.
Now, as you mentioned that large companies are involved in this, how this is going to affect their financials or their reputation when it comes to because there are products which are manufactured by Sun Pharma, then you have Glenmark Pharma, even Torrent Pharma. So, and these drugs actually contribute maybe 5 to 6, even 10% to their top line. So how this is actually going to impact these companies maybe for next few quarters?
Well, again, if I read into the language that is mentioned by CDSCO, they mentioned that a batch failure may not really mean that the entire product lot or everything is actually not up to the mark. So obviously, and if I think it is coming into the news for the first time, but if you see, these companies often get into trouble when it is coming to the US market. So a lot of the batches do fail, they have to recall products. So I would consider this as a normal issue even for a large company. It can become a real issue, or it can spiral into a bigger issue only if they're not able to address this. So again, it is about a particular batch, or is it about the entire product? That needs to be seen. And even before that, we need to see whether they are really spurious or the real drugs coming from the manufacturer. So I won't read too much into it, because I would generally assume that these companies would be able to address, even if there are issues related to quality, and that should not really hurt them, on a longer term.
Right. Fair enough. Nimish, a final question then. Even if you leave this specific issue aside, in general, we've seen the pharma sector come back, and there's been buying which is resumed here. My question really at this point in time is that, from your point of view, where are you seeing opportunities? If you can, in fact, name a handful of companies which you are currently interested in, or perhaps even have a bullish stance on.
I won't be able to name the companies, but I can definitely tell you the subsectors within pharma which we are bullish about. Say, so obviously domestic pharma or Indian pharma is one of the segments within pharma which we feel is likely to grow significantly, and that is also on the back of the measures being taken by government of India, where they are ensuring quality and fair practices in manufacturing and fair practices in marketing, all of those put together. Having said that, we have also seen some uptick in the US generic segment. That is on the back of generic pricing going up or actually stabilizing at a certain level, and Indian pharma anyway having a leadership position, in that segment as well. Thirdly, and this third can be, I am not sure whether this can continue for a long time or not, but we have also seen API prices coming down, which is why the input cost of pharma companies have come down, and as a result, it has helped their margins. So, all in all, I think all these three segments can be something that can go up, or can grow significantly from here on. But the longest and the most sustainable growth would be from the domestic pharma segment, and all the large companies in domestic pharma would benefit out of it.